How's it going, guys? I wanted to show a plugin I've been developing for FreeNAS. It's called XMR IG or XMRig. You can see it right here. What this stands for, the XMR, is a Monero. It's a cryptocurrency, kind of like Bitcoin, but it has its own properties that make it interesting. It's like very anonymous compared to Bitcoin. Like you can't even see how much an account has, unlike Bitcoin. So this is a miner, so you can mine it. I actually used to mine Bitcoin back in 2011, and if I held onto those and sold them now, I'd be like probably would have over a million, but I didn't. So I'm still working and everything, but I wish I did. But this is another chance, I guess. I can start mining this, and maybe maybe Monero or one of the other coins you can mine with this will go up. And so I'm probably gonna hold this time. I don't need the money as bad as last time. Last time I was literally just selling it and using it to buy whatever, stuff on Amazon, and made a few $100s from mining Bitcoin. But if I held it, I would have made like a million. So I'm not going to think about that too much. So anyway, it's in the FreeNAS repo. You install it like normal. It's going to be at the very bottom. Click it, click install. I personally go into jails and I disable vimage. So you go here and I disable that and choose a physical NIC. I already have one installed, so I'm just showing that and then restart that jail. I personally do that. Not all systems need to do that. My system, it has issues with the vimage. This is actually a remote system too, that I'm showing right now, so it might not be super responsive. Then you click on installed. You can enable it, but it's not going to work until you configure it. So you can enable it, but you want to configure it first as well too, and then you can enable it after. It doesn't matter what order. So this, you click on it on the left panel here, and I'll show some of the settings. So you can choose Kryptonite or Kryptonite Lite. So there's actually more than just Monero you can mine. You can mine other stuff. I just know about Monero, but there's other coins as well. And then Kryptonite Lite is another algorithm for Aeon coin, AEON. It's like Monero, but it's lighter weight, similar to how Litecoin is to Bitcoin. I think the mining algorithm's easier, and the transactions happen faster, lower fees. It's just not worth as much right now, but because there's less people mining it, it actually, I think, might be more profitable to mine Aeon, especially on a CPU. I think they have more of an advantage on CPU. You can play around with it yourself and see what hash rates you're getting. CPU affinity, I put this in here because it did help me maybe like 10%. So what I do, this is an i7. Would also work the same as on a Xeon. That's like a 4-core hyperthread. So if you have like a quad-core hyperthread, you'd want to put 0x55, and the 55 stands for, this is a hex value. So you can see here, if you enable the first, second, third, and fourth cores, and these are the hyperthread cores, you disable them. I don't know why you don't put a 0 at the end, but this is what I saw. But you'll end up with 55. So if you convert that to hexadecimal from binary, you end up with 55. So that's what you want to put there. If you just have a dual core hyperthreaded, like an i3, you want to do that. Though if your i3 doesn't have AES, you're going to get much lower hash rates. You want AES-NI on your system to get the highest hash rate. What else you'd want to configure? You want to configure the mining pool. This one works by default, so I'm just going to leave that. But this one mines to a hash vault, so right over here. There's another URL too. I think if you put pool.monero.hashvault, it's going to work the same, but it's exactly this site. Username, so I'll show that. You want to make an account, and your username would actually just be for hashvault at least. It might be different for different pools, but I'm just going to show the default pool. Let me just leave that how it was. So there's that username. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a wallet just to show what you would do. I didn't use Simple Wallet. I used a wallet on my Android phone. You could also run a wallet on like your computer. So I'm running Linux right now. You could run a wallet, or this is for Monero. You want to do it for whatever coin you're doing. You could also do Aeon, and I couldn't get the wallet for that working, so I just used an online wallet. I eventually will get a real wallet if I'm going to mine Aeon, but the online wallets, depending on how they're coded, they actually work the same. This is doing all the code locally, this My Monero. That's why a lot of people recommend this site if you're just starting out. So you would create an account. They're actually not holding the details for you as far as I know. So this just created an account for me. It didn't actually create it, but it will be associated to a Monero address. So this is what you'd want to save. This is private. Do not show this to anyone. I'm obviously not going to use this account, but you would save this somewhere, maybe print it out. And this can recover your account. I think either on this site or even in a regular wallet, those same words are going to work. So you make sure you print that out. And then this would be your public address people can send Monero to, or you can also put in your pool. So I'm going to actually just copy this and then put this here. So for Monero, I think they always start with a 4. So you know that's correct in that case. I guess you could just click that to copy it. And then you could see your wallet transactions. You can send money from here too. I believe this is all in JavaScript, and that's why it's kind of more secure. You're not sending the data over. But if you want to feel more secure, then I would get a program to do it. There's probably the official wallet would probably work, or there's other ones that would work too. Password, I don't think that matters, though you can do more stuff with hash vault if you put a password in. Like you can enable an email here. So let me see. I think you could put in here, let's just do test. And then I'll put my email. I'm going to leave these because this is correct for hash vault. If you're doing nice hash, I haven't done it myself, but I'm going to look into it. It's another pool you can mine to. You would enable this, and I don't know, I think you would disable keep alive, but you should look into your pool's details. They should have something that shows how you configure XMR or XMRig. API port, if you put a port in, it'll enable it. Pick something over 1024 for it to work, because I'm not running this. I set this program up not to run as root, so it needs a port over that. Or you can change that if you want as well, to run it as root or other options. So I'm going to go ahead and press OK. So that should be working now. And if you click here and click right here, you can see the API because I enabled it. You can already see I'm hashing at 252. And if it's probably just warming up right now. So yeah, we're getting about 270. I think this system can get 290, so I don't know why it's a little bit lower. Oh, did I not put affinity? Let's do that. So I'm going to show if you put the affinity in. Actually, I could just refresh this page. And let's see. So that was without the affinity. I was getting about 260, and now I'm getting about 280. I've seen it go up to about 290. 280 is fine. So yeah. So now I'm going to show the pool. You're obviously not going to get paid out here yet. It's going to get paid to your pool first. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to track live stats, enter my public address in. So don't put that private, those words, in anywhere. Just print that out and keep that for yourself. So you can see here, valid shares, there's already one. I don't know why it hasn't done anything yet. Let's see. Did I put a username in? I did. Let's see if I need to log in. So I'm going to click on settings. I'm going to put my payment address there. And I'm going to put password. I think it's my email. I'm going to put remember me. Let's see if that makes a difference. Yeah, it might. Otherwise, it might not show your workers. And then I'm going to try putting it in again. Or it might just take a few minutes for it to start working. And I'm going to refresh. But anyway, you can see here the live one. So as long as this number is going, that means it's hashing right now. And it might take a few minutes for it to show on this site. This is the pool. So we can come back to this in a minute. But let's just assume you got 280 hashes. We don't need that calculator anymore. You can put it in here. It's kind of hard to use this website. This is what to mine. So you can see if you had like a GPU, there's obviously a lot of options. With the CPU, you want to stick to Kryptonite, Kryptonite Lite. There might be a few other algorithms that are profitable, but I'm not sure. So let's put 280 since that's actually all I'm getting right now. Power, I'm putting 20 watts. So I don't put in the full power of the machine because in this case, my FreeNAS would be running anyway. And I didn't test it for this system. I tested it for my local system, and I was getting 20 watts, maybe a little bit less increase when I was mining. And I used a kilowatt meter, one of these. Yeah, so you can get one of these if you want, or you can just guess that it's similar to me. This actually doesn't use a lot of CPU cycles, unlike Bitcoin mining. It is going to show up on your processor as using a lot, but in my experience, it's not using increased power. It's just hitting your cache, your CPU cache a lot. So you can see here, the cache is what's important. So that's why an i7 works well, because it's 8 megabytes of cache. People who set up farms will use i7s. You could use Xeon, it'll also be 8 megabytes, but they're going to be more expensive. So here's hash rate 280. I'll be conservative and say it's using 20 watts, so this could probably be 15, and I'm going to say it cost me 20 cents per kilowatt hour. And I had to disable all of these, otherwise it's going to show you other stuff. So I just went in here and I set my own thing, Kryptonite. This is at whattomine.com. You click calculate. Let's see if that works. And it'll show what's the most profitable thing to mine. So you can see Monero is actually lower on the list. If you mine at 280, you're going to be making 81 cents per day. So that's about, what, 300 a year. So it's decent for not running. I mean, that's minus power costs. So you already factored the power costs in. So it's actually like, because your FreeNAS server is running anyway, if you're running your server anyway, it's like a free $300 a year. And if you have a larger system, or if you're more efficient with it, you can actually make more money. But you can see here, you could actually make more if you mine to NiceHash. I haven't done this, but I've looked into it, and I might do it in the future. The only reason I don't like it is they pay you in Bitcoin, and I kind of want to stay away from it because I'm not going to be making a lot, and Bitcoin has high transaction fees. So unless they fix that for Bitcoin, or I've heard NiceHash might be changing it and paying you in other alt currencies eventually, then I probably would start mining there. If they could pay me in Monero or Aeon, then I'd be happy. I think I prefer Monero. So here's if you mined in Aeon, and I did test the system and it got about 1,000. So assuming the same thing here, 1,000, say 20 watts. Let's see how much you can make in Aeon. You could make 10 cents a day. No, $1 a day. The cost is 10 cents. You can make $1 a day. So that's about 365. So you actually make a little bit more mining Aeon with this system. So you want to test your system. What I would do is I would just go in here, try this, and then also try Hashvault's Aeon address. It would be pool.aeon.hashvault.pro, and then all the same things. You would actually need to get an Aeon address. So that's why I'm not going to show. It's more complicated to get an Aeon address. I'll just stick with Monero for now. Or you could just do, you could put Bitcoin in there and do NiceHash. So I would look into this. So what you do is go to nicehash.com, go to sell, say I have a CPU miner. They have their recommended software, which runs on Windows only, but obviously running on a server, you'd go in here and click Kryptonite, and then your location, for me, it's US. And then this would be what you'd put in there for the address right here. So you would copy that and put it in here. And then you would put in your Bitcoin address. I don't know about password. They should have information somewhere on how to do that. Oh yeah, password is X. So your Bitcoin address. So I think you enable this, and I think you disable that. And what that does is actually just it mines for you whatever coin they want, and it sells it. Someone else is buying the mining from you, and that's why I think they get higher rates right now. I don't know if it's always like that, but right now you can make significantly more, nearly double more, mining to NiceHash than mining Monero directly. So I just showed Monero because it's the easiest one to mine straight out of the box, because that's the default for this system. These are other coins you can mine with Kryptonite. So I don't know, Sumo Coin, Electronium, I don't know about any of these. So I just know about Monero and NiceHash and Aeon. So that's just what I wanted to show. You can see you can make a little bit of money from leaving your FreeNAS server on. There's actually other miners too that I'm going to look into. There's one that mines using your free disk space. So that'd be great for FreeNAS servers because they have a ton of free disk space in some cases. You know, like mine has like 20 terabytes free. You could be making a lot of money on that. So that's interesting. So I just wanted to show that. And oh yeah, let's see if this refreshed at all. Yeah, you can see the test worker is there. And I'm getting 33. This is going to take a while to update, but in reality, I'm getting this amount of hashes. Getting 280. So 280 right there. And so yeah, you can see how much you can make. You can make over $1 a day. So it's better than nothing for the amount of work you put in. That's all you need to do. Create a Monero address, and in here you can edit this pool. You can edit how often you get paid. So you could change this to 0.1. That's like 30, 40 bucks, depending on what Monero is valued. I think it's valued about 400 almost. So you'll get $40 worth of Monero in your account, and then you can go sell that on an exchange. Or you could just do NiceHash, and you could just sell it on whatever exchange they're involved with. So that might be the other way to go if you're not planning on holding your Monero. I might hold this time because I regret not holding my Bitcoin. So Anyway, that's what I wanted to show, and you can see it's working well there, and it was pretty easy to set up. So hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys later.